Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Tashruta Gupta, your ACCA mentor. So this video I'm going to be to the point, okay? I want to discuss exemptions with you. I think everyone knows the facts about exemptions, so I will just give you a brief about it. And disclaimer before I start this video is personal opinion of Tashruta Gupta, okay? It's not something that I want to target someone or some authorities. No, it is just my opinion for my students because I really believe that if you call me as your mentor, it's my duty to guide you. Secondly, I have no self interest vested here because I'm not an ACC approved learning provider who would get you discounts for your exemptions or who is offering papers more than two papers. I just teach FR and SBR, and SBR is my main subject. Anyway, you don't get exemptions for SBR, right? So these things really matter very less to me. But still, for the personally, they don't matter to me. If you think about my self interest, that's what we read as accounting students. But if you think about me as your mentor, yes, I want you to know certain facts as a tutor that I've learned. What is the advantage of taking an exemption and what is the disadvantage of taking the exemption? So let's go one by one. Let's give you the facts first. Previously, we used to get 4 exemption based upon our BCom. So if we are graduated in India from some universities, you can check the exemption calculator. You'll get to know whether your university is eligible for the exemptions or not. We used to get 4 exemptions from knowledge level. Now that knowledge level exemption was okay, manageable because mostly if you are in graduation, you know the concepts of present value, annuity factors. At least you know the debits and credits, and you know the P&L, the trading account, how to prepare ledgers, journals, what is trial balance. You know these basic things, right? So that was fine. 4 paper exemption was fine. And now what has happened recently, very recent change from ACCA, is about the 5th paper that is being exempted, that is the taxation paper. So if you are already graduated and you enroll into ACCA after 8th of August 2023, you're eligible to get 5 exemptions. 4 exemption, the knowledge level plus UK tax. Now, if you are also doing your graduation, let's suppose you're in a first year of college and you enroll into ACC after 8th of August, you are going to get 5 exemptions. These are known as conditional exemptions. Condition is that you complete your graduation. So you can apply for the conditional exemptions. Once you graduate, you will get those 5 papers exempted. Meanwhile, you can do your other exams. So this is the concept of conditional exemptions. And this is for regular BCom courses, okay? This is not an embedded BCom course. Now, another concept of exemption is the 9 paper exemption. So if you're a chartered accountant, you do get 9 paper exempted. And also, if you are enrolled into a BCom course that is an embedded BCom course, where few colleges with which ACCA has a collaboration, they do offer some kind of exemptions because they teach ACCA curriculum within the college, like within their curriculum. That's the process of getting 9 exemptions. So now you exactly know that in ACCA, there are few exemption possibilities. If you are a chartered accountant, if you are a normal BCom graduate, or you're pursuing graduation, or if you have done some special BCom that is known as integrated BCom. Now, guys, this is fact. What is coming up next is my opinion on these facts. What is my guidance? As a tutor, guys, I've seen 2 categories of students. I wouldn't say that all people who get exemptions, they end up failing. No. Last year, I taught a student from South Africa. He was actually Indian, studying in South Africa. He got 9 paper exemptions and he scored an 84 in SBR and a rank in his country, right? So that means exemption people are also doing good, provided they are studying for what is being exempted. They are honestly studying for what they are exempted. So, guys, if you're planning on to go for 9 paper exemptions, you go and talk to your alumni. Because what is your goal? Is your goal just getting 9 paper exemptions? Or is your goal completing ACCA? Because let me give you the honest fact, there are people who got 9 exemptions, have failed twice, thrice, stuck in the paper because their base is not clear. That is also the reality. Yes, if they pass, they put extra effort. There are people who study for SBL 6 months, 7 months, Sometimes the whole year they would study for SBL because they're not confident. They're not ready for the exam environment of ACCA, even though they've got 9-paper exemption. So you have to ask your alumni if you plan on to go into such a college where 9-paper exemptions are given. There are people who are getting 84 in SBR after 9-paper exemption in India also. So you have to ask your alumni, informal talk, what is the quality of teaching for ACCA subjects in that particular institute. Based on that, if you think that quality is up to mark, and once those people qualify, once the people graduate, are they easily able to qualify ACCA? If yes, go for it. Why not? You're getting exemptions, go for it. If they are not, which I've seen the ratio is higher, then guys, if you take exemptions from 5 papers in normal graduation also, I don't talk about the 4 exemptions. 4 exemptions are manageable. Please take those 4 exemptions. Now, the newly introduced concept is tax exemption. So the people who think they're very sure that they never want to work in taxation field, or they're very sure the first job that they're going to start is going to be in Big Four, where you anyway don't need UK tax laws. You're not going to work in any medium-sized entity, or you need not plan being in India only, that you want to practice for UK SME clients. If that's your plan, please take the exemption. And then you will automatically not give ATX, right? Because if you've not given taxation, why would you give ATX? Because taxation is like, ATX is this huge paper and taxation is this huge paper. So if you've not done this, how you can prepare for this? Simple logic. So if you are very sure of this, please go for the exemption. Now, those who are not sure, let me tell you this. I am a person, if you follow me, I don't like taxation. I never liked my F6 paper. If I was given the chance of taking the exemption, I would have taken it because I don't like tax. But you know, the brutal fact, the honest fact, that is when I started my first job, when I was part qualified, I was not a complete ACC affiliate. I started with my internship in an ACC approved employer. The first work that was assigned to me, that company had UK SME clients. They worked for their financial statements according to UK GAAP. And the first work that was assigned to me was not accounting work, was not financial statement work. It was the self-assessment of the client, VAT returns of that client. And we used to do the tax planning also. The client used to ask us that this is my business, this is what is going on, and this is the new strategy. In COVID in UK, there were so many new schemes. And he asked us how to plan the tax. Should I opt for this scheme or should I not opt for the scheme? I used to refer to company's house website. And because I knew the basics of taxation, even though I never liked taxation, but I've passed the paper and I know what is there within that. Right. So I knew the basic tax structure, and that is the reason I was able to work in that field. I was able to survive in that field. Later on, I switched myself completely to UK GAAP to IFRS compilation. So that basically means you don't know where you'll end up working. Let me be very true. You don't know this. If you've started your career or you plan to start your career, how can you be so sure that I'll work in audit only, I'll work in Big Four only? I wish everyone gets into the Big Four, but it's not always that you have to start with Big Four. You might start with some smaller companies, maybe medium-sized companies who have local clients, or you might plan on to do your own business. You can practice for UK clients staying in India. For you, you know, UK people consider you as Indian, as maybe in Pakistan, maybe in Dubai, they consider you as a cheap resource because of the currency difference. So they do outsource their accounting, their taxation to you because you are ACCA qualified. You've learned UK laws, tax laws, and you can do their self assessments, their VAT returns. You can file their company registrations. You can do on your end. So if you have no ideas about what are the deadlines of tax filing in UK, how the tax rate works, or how the tax lab works, things keep on changing, but at least know the structure. The figures, the Finance Act would change the figures, but the structure would remain the same, no? So if you don't study taxation, how you can actually do that type of work? So that is something that I gave you from my experience, because Totally, when I started my career, that was my work profile. And today, even if I'm working, practicing for my UK SME clients, I do work for their taxation. Any intern that I would employ under me, even that intern would need the knowledge of taxation. We would provide them the training about the how to use the company's house website, how to do stuff related to UK tax. That is the importance of taxation. So if you don't know this, if you are very sure that you're not going to work in this, then please go for the exemption. Next point. If you plan on to work for Big Fours, how are you so sure that you want to be working in tax field? There's so many openings in, you just Google it. Not just in UK, there are so many openings in India, KGS, the global services of KPMG, right? So you work as a backend support. So maybe your client is in UK, but you are on the backend in India itself. So you have so many opportunities in the tax field within these backend offices as well. So I would say not just please. Okay, this is one of the disadvantage of taking the exemptions, right? Advantage is if you are going to complete ACCA as fast as possible. If tax paper is exempted, there's no point of giving ATX. We'll simply pick up any other optional paper and we'll qualify ACCA as soon as possible. Yes, that's an advantage. Of course, that's an advantage. Why should you not go for it? I gave you the reason. If you're very sure that you want to work in taxation, if you're very sure that the first job that you're going to crack is going to be in audit or in financial reporting, go for it. Right? So, this is what my opinion with regards to the new tax exemption is. And lastly, I would just say that please, whenever you take a decision, just don't always go for shortcuts. Okay. Shortcuts are easy in short run. In longer run, you should always try that you go for the best option which you feel is correct. Because I say something, someone else will say something, that's their opinion. At the end, it's your decision to take. So that's my personal opinion that whether you should take exemptions or not, which type of exemption you should be taking. And of course, one more fact that if you want to take these exemptions, please don't register with the ACCA yourself. Registered via an ACCA approved learning provider. I think they have some rule that they will take one or two subject classes from you and then they will provide you the exam fee waiver. Like they'll give you the exemption fee waiver. That's how it works. I'm not very sure of it. So basically, the point is now it's the ball is on your in your court, and you have to decide whether you want that exemption or not. So if you're very sure that you're not going to work in taxation field, go for the exemption. If you're not sure, I will personally suggest give the paper, pass the paper. You never know in future they might say we don't want people who the employer might say that we don't want people who are getting exemptions. Specifically, if you're working in tax field, of course they will ask this at one time once the employer gets to know that you're getting exemptions for taxation. That is very much reflected in your working, you can say, way. So they will put this in the job requirement that we don't want people for who are exempted. They might in the future. So please consider these facts and then make an informed decision. That's it from my side. And once again, I end this video with a note that this is personal opinion and this has nothing to do with anyone, just from a mentor to the students. All the best.